Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break it down!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Comic Clowns Podcast. This is Bruce Warchief Hoover, and we're coming from WCGO 1590 AM in Evanston, Illinois. With me today, as always,
Mark, the Dwarf Kokiachuk.
Chris, the Enforcer Vasquez.
Kyle, Darth Cooch Cookenbecker. Rank, Caracas, 4047 Kohler.
And Nick, the Miniman Clark.
and I'm going to let you guys yell at me because this is the second time we had to do this, because apparently before, I wasn't recording. So I talked for about 12 minutes about this topic and did not record a single ounce of the segment.
It's like you had one job.
I have like 4 back here. I'm not gonna lie.
And you failed at 1.
I know, and once I fail at one, it's like literally everything comes toppling down on my head. And so, back what I was saying, I want to say once again, I'll start from the top like you guys weren't here 5 seconds ago. Welcome to Kyle, Darth Cooch Cookenbecker, for being the newest full-time member of the Comic Clowns.
Yay.
Welcome.
Yay!
That's about the same amount of excitement as we had last time.
We had clapping last time, so it was a lot better.
That's true. But we're going to be, he's going to be covering with us. He's going to be doing the Flareoverse a little bit, because you guys know I hate it. I'm not a fan of dark brooding, and I'm not a fan of a lot of timeline skipping with Barry Allen. I like it in the comics.
Damn it, Barry.
I like it in the comics. I'm not a fan of it on TV.
I gotcha.
I like it in the movies as well. Those are always fun. So I leave that to Kyle. He's also going to be covering Nightwing Rebirth because he is a huge Dick Grayson fan. So
Fantastic.
Kyle, would you say you like Dick?
Oh, I love Dick. How could you not love Dick?
He loves the dick.
He loves the flying dick, too. Nice light black
It's
dick.
all about the flying dick.
All right,
awesome.
so I guess I'm supposed to put a disclaimer warning on this here. This, well, let me put this to start with. This is not going to be your normal podcast for us, okay? This is not your normal thing that we talk about. Normally it would be something, it would be like comics or something like that. But I had time, and I thought to myself, as we're talking or giving you guys news and you guys get to laugh with us because we're funny, let's face it. I mean,
I try to be.
We're hilarious. We know it. We also want to give back to the community a little bit. We want to talk to you guys about things that bother us, about even about ourselves, if you will. So this next segment's going to be about personal health and fitness. And I'm not saying I'm not fat shaming. I'm not anything at this point. Okay, this is not meant to be offensive. This is not meant to be anger directed towards anyone. This is Bruce, the War Chief, taking 20 minutes of his time to talk to people about things that bother him. And it's not me bothering the cosplay community or anything of that nature. It bothers myself as well. If it didn't bother me, I wouldn't be I would talk about it, but this one's personal for me. So if you think this is going to be fat shaming or anything like that, it's not. It's totally not, because I'd be making fun of myself. And I'm not going to. I'm more worried about the health of the community here, right? Not all of us are Living Ichigo or Jessica Nigri, okay? We don't get paid. I know they don't get paid a lot of money to go do those cosplays and things, but we're not all really skinny. I know they work hard to get that way, too, because that's part of their life that's important to them. Now, what I'm looking for here is myself is, I was telling people before, I ended up going to the VA hospital last year. And the lady's like, get on the scale, we need to weigh you. I'm 6'1". I'm like, you know what? 240, 245, no problem. Step up on that scale, she goes, 269.
Oh, man.
No, that is a lie. How dare you lie to me, scale?
Scales don't lie.
Scale, you told it hurt. It really did. And I looked at myself and I went, you look in the mirror and you have that perception of yourself. You look differently to everyone else than you do yourself. And I always looked at myself, that was 240. And then I looked at myself in the mirror when I heard 269, and I felt like I could actually see myself for what I really looked like. And I'm I'm not fat, I'm not huge by any means, but I was bigger than I wanted to be.
Right,
My belt sizes were, I realized my belt sizes got a lot bigger, my everything got bigger, and I'm I had to wear bigger clothes, and my pants were I went to the store, I'm I need to buy a pair of jeans, and I went up 3 sizes, and I'm
oh, wow.
this isn't right. So I told myself I'm going to go into the gym. I tried to go to one gym, and me and the Enforcer did for a while, and then I went, this gym's not for me.
Okay.
And instead of giving up on gyms at that point, I went to find a different one that was actually opening. Because the one I went to was like, it was nothing but like jacked dudes.
Oh.
And like it was, they're like, you wanted to go like use a bench press, but like even like for myself, who's very comfortable going into any scenario, that like took it out of me watching do benches like 645-pound plates across and just like just
Oh, wow.
dropping them. They're just all just ripped, and I'm like,
It was
I would
his Yamcha moment.
I'm like, I would like to go like hit the weights myself, but that it takes it out of you.
Right, I gotcha,
So we
yeah.
went over to a different gym, and we looked at ourselves and we're like, you know what, I can get behind this one, because not everybody in here is like that. Everybody, I had to stop and look at everyone like, everyone here has the same goals. We all have different goals, but we all want to better ourselves in some way.
Right.
And I saw that, and I'm like, I can go to this place. And you know what? I found what was right for me. Now, gyms are not right for everybody. If you don't want to go to a gym, don't go to a gym. It's not. I understand like the fear and the temptation of everybody how they feel, but I'm just saying you need to do something.
Right.
You need to do some form of physical activity. I know you see those things on TV. Go outside and play. I'm like, they're not wrong. Like, I don't care if you go play basketball, if you just go for a walk around the block for a while, but people think, and I keep seeing memes on it, that people think that like the exercise is the hard part. The exercise is not the hard part.
No, putting the weights back is.
That really is. That's pretty hard, actually. After you've done a lot of stuff, it's really hard to actually lift that plate back up one more time. 'Cause
Jeez.
everyone forgets about that hidden rep.
Right.
But no, the hard part is actually the diet.
The diet.
It's controlling yourself to not eat. And like, we're in a society of, and even anybody who's not even listening, everybody is of instant gratification. So instead of taking the time to slow cook a meal or cook it from home, people are more willing to go to McDonald's and get that from somebody else. And you know what? You know, at like 2 a.m, if you see yourself and you go, I'm hungry, and you want to go to McDonald's at 2 a.m,
not the best decision.
I'm telling you, you're wrong on
it's
two
not.
different levels.
Yeah.
Because your body is just going to store all that fat. Like immediately. Nothing's getting burnt off at that point. Not at 2 a.m. Unless you're working at that point, the graveyard shift, then that's not for you. But if you're going to bed, like right after that, then it's not doing anything. You're just putting on more, like it's just going to store it, and it's going to turn out pretty bad for you. And I'll admit, I did that, like White Castles, Taco Bell.
Jeez.
I'll admit to doing all of that. But like recently it turns into, I have an 8-year-old daughter that I know my life and my affection and what I do perpetrates onto her. And I don't want her to, like, I want her to be okay with herself, but she's an 8-year-old girl going into high school. Who remembers high school? Because I remember, and I get told all the time that, yeah, the jocks and everybody were mean, but the girls, they're like worse. Like my girlfriend, she went to an all-girls school, and she's completely concerned about my daughter.
Jeez.
Because my daughter's tall. My daughter, for her age,
Is tall.
is like 4'8" at 8 years old.
Yeah, that's pretty tall. Yeah.
Like she's creeping up over here on Mark. Okay, she's gonna be a big girl when she gets to these places, and she doesn't want to eat vegetables. She doesn't want to do anything like that. And like as a father, I find it very difficult to get her to that point. But if I'm not doing it, how can I enforce her to do it as well?
Right.
So I told myself, I looked at her, I made a deal with her. Me and her made a pact that if Daddy can get down to 230 pounds by New Year's Day, that she would, without argument, without question, without crying, without anything, will start eating any vegetable that's put on a plate in front of her.
Okay.
If I don't do that, which means I have not only failed myself, I feel like I failed as a father because I couldn't even keep a promise to my own little girl. Then I told her anytime I saw her, I'd buy her an ice cream sundae. And I look at myself and I can't do that.
Wow. Yeah.
Financially, one, it's really horrible. Two, it proves to her that it's okay to go do stuff like that. I mean, like I said, Chris, me and Chris work out all the time.
Yeah.
You heard my motivation. My motivation for this is I want people to be healthy. I want people to get promoted more because of the health risks that it dictates.
Right.
I'm not saying everyone gets skinny. I'm saying I want you to be able to walk around a convention and not feel like crap.
Right.
After like an hour where you have to go back to your room and sit down and lay down.
Yeah, you just want to
We,
feel. Yeah,
we
you wanna
run
feel
cosplay
good.
foam fighting, okay? We fight for hours on end.
Oh yeah.
We want people to be able to go out there for more than just like 10 minutes and be exhausted.
Right. Yeah.
I want people to have fun. And I get now there's people like, I don't put on weight. Trust me, that metabolism's going to stop. So it's better now to take care of that while you can. Like, was it 4 out of 6 of us in this room are 250 plus in this room? And that is a huge thing for us. And like I know it's like pot calling the kettle black for a minute there, but like we're trying to do something about it.
Right.
Like, and we all have our own personal reasons. And if they're willing to share, I'll go around the table to do it. Chris, you are my workout partner. We go every morning before you go to school for culinary. You cook all our healthy dinners when you can so you can get practice in.
Fantastic cook, by the
What is your reasoning behind this?
My reasoning, honestly, is it's simple. It all initially started when we were gaming together. I could just be sitting there, not talking, but everyone would constantly ask me, because we're on through mics. They're constantly asking me, "Hey man, you awake?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" "You're breathing really heavy, like you're asleep." And Bruce can truly attest to that. Like every time we gamed, every game we played, "Chris, you're still awake on us, right?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Jeez.
And that was like step one, and then a little down the line, my father died, and no one knew any of this health issues he had. My father, was not a small man by any means. Honestly, he was about maybe a little bit bigger than Nick in body size, not height, but body size.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He's a wide guy.
Yeah,
he was,
very wide.
and-
Okay.
And when he went to the hospital, we were like, "Oh my God!" We found out he had these issues, and it turned out one of them was he had diabetes and he had sleep apnea
Wow.
because of his body size, and that's what hit me. Because I was like, "Oh my God!" And after I saw him in the hospital, I got a phone call the next day. He died, and I was like, "What was it? What did him in?" His sleep apnea. He just stopped breathing in his sleep.
Oh man.
And what hurts me about that is when I was in the Army, I was told I could have sleep apnea.
Jeez.
I was told because my breathing would stop periodically throughout the times I was sleeping.
Oh man.
And I was like, "Oh crap." I got tested for it. Nothing ever came back positive. But I found out my own body weight size a little after Bruce did. And let's just say I'm not trying to get back to it. I'm
Right.
glad I lost all the weight that I did, but I would still love to lose more.
Well, good for you,
And
man.
it's just,
And I know that is a really hard story to tell. I mean, anything that concerns your father, and like I said, I have mad respect for it. But that's always been, like, I know that's been your driving force. I was never going to bring that up unless you did. And you know what? I asked you to cook the food for us because I know you're a great cook. And you asked me to help you lose that weight. And you know what? I'm no fitness expert, but we went out and found fitness experts to help us out.
yeah.
Good.
Which we will address those people towards the end of the cast here, at the end of this first segment. Kyle, you're also you're about my height. You and me are the same height.
6'1".
correct? Yeah, we're both 6'1", 73 inches, and your body size is drastically different than mine. Why do you want to lose weight at this point?
Similar to Chris, I didn't have death that directly related to it, but diabetes does run rampant through my family, so that's one of the big reasons. And just the lifestyle, want to be able to cosplay for certain people, but when you look like this, it's kind of hard to be Alexander Louis Armstrong. So
It's like your options are really limited on who you can be.
yeah, I mean, I'm not short enough to be Gluttony, so
Wow.
Oh, wow.
See,
but I've got the body for it.
You know what? That's the thing right there. It's positive. People we always tell everyone, cosplay who you want, and be beautiful when you do it. But the difficult thing is to literally be able to look at yourself in the mirror. I don't care. I could dress like anything I want. I don't give a crap what anybody else says to me.
Right.
I'll run around in a thong, and I don't care what anybody says. But if I can't look at myself in the mirror, that's where I have a problem.
One, don't run around in a thong.
Please don't.
I've seen something similar to that on you. It's not a good sight.
Oh.
Oh, you don't want to watch this? You don't want to watch this junk walking into the room before? he
And
does?
we're done there.
Okay.
We won't go further. We won't go further on that. But
Wow.
it's all about a positive mental image for yourself. If you don't like how you feel, it doesn't matter. I could go as Alexander, but it's still not gonna it won't be right to me.
Yeah,
Right.
you want to
So-
make if you're doing a character.
Yeah.
We'll always people are going to argue about cosplay is for everybody. It is for everybody,
Yeah.
but everyone secretly we all think it. Everyone does. We automatically look at somebody and go, they're not doing that character a service.
Oh, I agree. And
Like
we
if a
are,
guy walks in there with a full hairy chest and he's doing Louis Armstrong, you're like, no, dude, shave that. Come on.
yeah, I mean, you're Zangief. Get it right.
You're Zangief. Oh, wow.
Maybe
But-
Braum.
Yes.
But our culture is also very self-conscious. They don't want to go out, be seen doing the workouts because they think people are going to judge them. We feel most comfortable at the cons around people of our own kin. So it's a little rough.
I gotcha.
Nick, I've known you for a little while.
Yeah.
You've been trying to get down as well.
Oh yeah, I had huge health scare about a year and a half ago. I started having back pain. Like it wasn't bad. It's like you ever have like mild back pain, like you've been in the car for 4 hours straight.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like that, except every single day. And then it got to the point where I went to a Ren Fair, like the Ren Fair. Let's be honest, we know what we're all talking
Right,
about.
we got it.
Yeah.
And I was actually walking hobbled over because I could not stand upright.
Oh, man.
Oh,
And I couldn't
boy.
figure out what happened. So I had to go to my doctor, and he tried doing a full test on me. He moved my leg, and I almost blacked out
Oh.
because I had a pinched nerve. And I couldn't figure out how it happened. He's like, no, you got to start losing weight. I'm like, but how do I do that when I can't walk? He's like, try dieting. I'm like, well, how do I diet when I have to eat? He's like, well, I'm going to take you to a nutritionist. So I went to a nutritionist at my hospital because I have a work-based plan. And she went through my entire diet. Like, what do you eat? How much do you eat? When do you do these things? And she's like, you're bringing in like 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day.
Oh, wow.
It's like, so I want you to do these things. She gave me a list of what I'm allowed to eat, when I can eat, and then I had to go work out. She's like, well, how often do you work out? I had to do like 2-3 days a week. She's like, no, go 5. Just do 5 days.
5 days.
For 1 hour each. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Just pick. Split it up in half even. You can do half cardio, half weights. Do something. Skip it up. And when I started doing that, I dropped from 365 to 325.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Impressive, bro.
There we
That's
go.
good.
Well, here's the other thing here. Like, I'm talking about fitness and everything, and like everyone has their little stories about it and everything. But like, I mean, we all look at Grant and we go, Grant, yeah, man, you're so skinny and everything. But like other people at that point, no, don't even say jealous
I'm
at this
joking.
point. I can look at Grant and be like, maybe Grant wants to put on weight at this point because maybe he was cosplays. He feels self-conscious because he's too skinny to go do something. I don't know. I'm taking an assumption here. Because I know there's like 4 or 5 different workarounds here. Because not everyone's perfect in the way they feel and look. Grant, have you ever felt that way? I'm actually, this is legit. We didn't stage this question beforehand. This is an actual question I have for him. I thought about.
Well, to be perfectly honest, as soon as I get this mic figured out. Anyway,
Professionals.
I think this started back in high school when I was a little bit smaller than I am today, and people tell me, it's like, dude, you eat so much, you could down at least 2 double Whoppers like that and not gain a pound. It's like, dude, you need to gain weight. I'm like, I'm doing everything in my power to try, and it's been like that for almost 10 years now.
Okay.
But I will admit, at least far as the job that I'm at and where I'm working, there's a minimum requirement of lifting 50 pounds. And with over the summer, we do a deep cleaning since I am a custodian for a school district as full time. We have to move everything out, clean the room, then
Get
move
stronger,
it back
yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
so
you
I
can.
will admit the workplace where I'm doing, as far as for a workout, it is a good one. At least so far that I've been through in my life at this point, and it actually helps out with my legs as well.
That's good.
Yeah, you're
Hey,
doing
man,
a
hey,
workout
great.
when you work.
Grant, I say legit talk here, man. If you ever want to like put on weight or like work out with us before, like we're willing to. We've all been willing here to like help out. If you ever thought about that, like just being able, if you ever want to like put on muscle and stuff, we actually for that actual case here, we had two things I wanted to talk about before we went. There's a store called in Mokina, New Lenox, and Tinley Park called Armor Nutrition. Now, that place is kind of intimidating when you walk in there, but they have the supplements that you need if you want to take it, protein powders, things like if you really want to get serious, some dietary supplements if you're like really concerned about the way you're going to eat, and really great advice. They
Oh,
really help
yeah.
out. Now, they're also going to be helping us out towards next month, which we'll actually post about later. They're putting up their website in a little online store, and they decided that we reached an agreement for you guys. Nothing for us in the kickback, but they're going to be giving us a promotional code for you guys to order certain things off their website at reduced costs to help you, because we are a niche market when it comes to things. We're very insecure when we go into places like that, when we're really different. So you can order these things off the internet and go from there. Now, another person I want to talk about.
1 second. You said Tinley Park for the one store. It's actually Oak Lawn.
Oak Lawn, my apologies.
It's not in Tinley. It's
My bad.
Midlothian, New
It's
Lenox,
in
and Oak Lawn.
My bad. My apologies. Because I thought about the chart. I thought it was next to Charter in Tinley as well.
Okay.
And the other person I want to talk about is there are personal trainers out there that you can go to. Like, we're running a little bit over time on this one, but this is a person I want to talk about. Me and Chris went and saw a personal trainer. His name was Patrick Stevens. Called him Pat 1000 because, I didn't know his last name, and that's the kind of motorcycle he had. So
I don't think that's his power level, but okay.
we walk into his house, and we met him through a friend of ours, and we're like, okay, because he doesn't. I know the one dude's a nerd, so I'm like, this guy may or may not be, but he's very open to helping us out. We saw Deadpool with him, so there's a 50-50 shot. He may just be another person going in. I walk into his house, I look to his right, he has a picture of his son, and I'm like, is that your 1-year-old son in a Goku onesie? He looks me dead in the eye and goes, that was the first onesie my child ever wore.
Nice.
And find out he's a anime friend. He's Dragon Ball Z, Fairy Tail, Naruto, you name it, he picks up on it, he hits it. And I've never been so comfortable letting someone tell me to work out before.
Good.
It's he makes that and I'm gonna ask him if he wants me to put out his information for him, but I recommend that people do talk to him. And you can find physical trainers out there that can not even just tell you how to work out or lift a weight, but he'll also give you, just like Armor Nutrition will, they'll give you ways of eating, what you should eat, how to do calorie intakes, and what workouts will do the best for you. But for right now, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll touch on this a little bit more. Just a quick smidge over, and then we're going to have the one and only Kevin's wife, Michelle, who you've heard, Silver Valkyrie, you've heard before. We're going to talk about some cosplays and see how this can relate to cosplays and what other things you guys can make. So, once again, we will be right back.
Nick, the Minuteman Clark with the Comic Clowns. We're recording here at WCGO 1590 AM in Evanston, Illinois. You can check us out on Facebook. We're going to also be on iTunes and the Gab Radio Network. You can check us out live. We're going to be at Collision Con at Bloomingdale, Black Friday, Thanksgiving weekend. And we look forward to seeing everybody there.
And we're back on this very special cast that we're doing today on health and fitness. In the end of the last cast, you heard me talking about everyone's options, such as personal trainers and the deals we're going to be doing with Armor Nutrition out in Mokina, Oak Lawn, and New Lenox. I'm sorry, I completely brain farted that one. Had to look at Kyle for that one. He was behind me. I just completely forgot. Yeah, there's no music intros this time. Usually I like doing music intros to be funny and witty and things of that nature, but this turned to a conversation that really touched on everybody.
It hit home.
It hits home with a bunch of us because most people don't think about it because they don't want things that will depress them, so they don't put two thoughts into it.
Right.
And which you really need to do, I think. And when you think about it, it brings you down.
Yeah.
And in my world, you have two choices: let it bring you down and completely ignore it, or do something about it. And that's all we're trying to do here. We're trying to betterment everyone's lives. Now, this may not turn out to be everyone's favorite cast. Some people may just want to ignore it. Some people may want to belittle it. That's literally your choice. We have, now you guys can see us on the YouTube video. We have our cosplay experts that are coming in here. We got Kevin again and Michelle, Silver Valkyrie. Want to thank you two for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
They're trying to share a mic. It's cute.
Adorable.
But yeah, back to what we were talking about. I know there's some people out there, I didn't get touch on this one, that'll be like, oh, you want us to get fit, but I have physical limitations. You're absolutely right. You know what? Some people do. And Mark himself right now, Mark would probably like to go lose weight, but Mark, we did a stream for you.
Yeah, you
recently. We're trying to get more famous, and we can do more stuff like that. And we did it. We were originally going to do it for something else, but then we came together as a group, and we decided to help you out.
Oh no, yeah.
Because we need you're one of our own, and just as like the cosplay community and the comic community and the nerd community is all one of us, you're one of our own in here. And even 1590 AM on Finch and Friends ran a little interview with me about what was going on and then aired it for me.
Oh really?
That was Denny Sonar Green, who
Oh wow.
I reached out to. You guys hear us talk about him. You heard him on the fewer podcasts. He's, got his life he needs to worry about. He's taking care of some things. He's going with his wife and his own daughter or his own child. I can't say daughter. Can't remember. I feel bad. His little greenie. But he, like, as soon as I tell him anything, the guy is, he's right there. And that's the kind of family that I know we all technically are. Now,
It's true.
we were talking about like different things where people have their limitations. Like, Mark, why don't you tell people, because we never really brought it up on the cast itself what it was.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it.
And we kind of left it alone because the last couple casts you were very somber. You weren't very. I could see your mind was focused somewhere else, and that's where we found out there was something wrong, and we found out about it. Why don't you tell everyone what was going on?
Yeah. What happened was I was in a extremely lot amount of pain, like more pain than usual, and for a while I thought I was actually coming down with the flu, which, flu season was around the corner. I was like, oh, I'm getting sick. Wasn't feeling too well. Started getting really weak, and I was like, wow, this must be a really bad flu. So I decided to go to a doctor, and the doctor had told me that it's not the flu. Your temperature is normal, but it's something very bad, and I wasn't sure what was going on. They ran a lot of tests. They took blood samples, several other samples, and they just couldn't figure out what was going on through my blood because everything was actually negative. No diabetes, no leukemia or anything like that. You're fine. Then one day I was actually having trouble breathing. I wasn't breathing right. I was about to collapse, pass out. I felt like I did a triathlon. It was really, really bad. I went to the hospital, and they came to the conclusion that you have what's called Guillain-Barré syndrome. That is where your immune system attacks your nervous system, and you will feel tingling in your fingers and toes and hands, and you'll start to feel numb. And you'll start to feel weak, and you just become tired, and it will actually start to attack your respiratory system, and you'll slowly die. And it's not comfortable, it's painful, and it's scary. Lucky for me, they said that they caught it early, so they gave me a serum to actually counteract my immune system to reset it so it stopped attacking my nervous system. But I now actually have a little bit of trouble. I'm still going through the healing process because my nerves did get some damage to them. That's why I'm kind of walking around with this walking cane, and I can only lift up to like 10 pounds. And I can't go anything over than that. And I actually had to be very careful because sometimes they say the possibility of me having a relapse is very minimal, but
It's a possibility.
it's a possibility, they said.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to bring up. It's like there's people like that are out there with things like this.
Right.
That obviously I'm not trying to say like you people like don't have have a reason. Like you'd probably be working on if you would because you're a fighter.
Well, yeah, of course.
You're
yeah.
a big fighter. You CFF. You're one of our mainstay. You're one of our champions. I mean, you won that tournament champions in massive amounts of pain.
Oh, yeah, I was in excruciating amount of pain, and I still somehow won. It's
like, wasn't that where the pain sort of started, like a little bit halfway through Ramen Con?
I started noticing pain like before, like Ramen Con, but I thought it was like minor stuff. But then as I continued to work and actually like as I furthered, for some reason I started getting like really, really tired and more in pain. I go like, this is like not normally normally what I have. So I thought I was just coming down with the flu. I swear, I thought it was con sickness or the flu. I swear to God. I
remember giving you a bunch of pain pills, and you're like, it's not helping.
It's not helping. Yeah, I was like, this is not helping. I'm in so much pain right now. And it's terrible because, again, there's no cure, there's no treatment for this. All they had was the serum, but they only give it to you unless they actually see that you're gonna die or something. So it's like, ugh.
You
joy.
see, with this right here, it's kind of weird. Like everyone listens to us, and we're usually a happy-go-lucky, like smiling crew, and this is probably the most serious thing. Like we're not afraid to sit here and talk about our problems.
Right.
and we're not the whiny type. We don't want to complain. That's never been our MO.
Right.
Like millions of unfair things happen all the time to people. This isn't us complaining like, oh, our life is like 100 times worse than yours. This is us explaining to you guys what's going on with us, like why we're so concerned with health, with why I'm concerned with like the way our con community is addressed and the way we're seen and how people what we want for people. Because I consider everyone in the con community a family member,
Right.
and that's always we've been.
It's true.
You meet people at cons and you start talking for 5 seconds, and that's where we all feel comfortable. So it's like you make connections there that last a lifetime. But if your body's not like ability to last that long, that lifetime may be shorter than you really want.
Yeah. Mine came pretty
Yeah.
close.
But
so.
but that was no fault of your own.
No, that wasn't my fault.
There was no fault of your own here. And that's what we're trying to talk about. That's what I'm trying to say here. I want everyone to take a look at themselves for a minute and just say how they feel about themselves. And then you have 2 choices, as I said before. You can either ignore it or you can fix it. I play video games all the time. I play League of Legends. Me and Chris me and Enforcer started a thing where every time you die, 10 push-ups. Every time you, at the end of the game, if you're positive, give yourself 20 sit-ups. You're not going anywhere, and you don't need anything to do that on. But people have those options. They have those choices. And that's all life is about.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to talk about. Now, we're giving you from the guy perspective. We're giving you all from the guy perspective at this point. And that's because we're all guys here, and, we don't... Not by any fault of our own or anything like that. That's just how it started. Now, we're lucky enough to have Michelle in the booth. And I want to ask her in a minute here to do some... give it on a girl's perspective for cosplay. But one of the big things we're also going to do here, and I wanted to bring this up and bring it again at the end, is you guys can look at us and be like, oh, you guys are weird, whatever, we're not going to pay attention. But on our Facebook page, I'm going to have the Enforcer, Chris, start posting some like easy recipes, along with Michelle's help, of course.
Right.
Things that that you can do easily on your own from your house, as well as bring to a con. Like, bring to an event, something small, something easy, that you're not going downstairs to eat fried, greasy food, that you're not just base yourself off of what is available. No, bring something and be prepared.
40 pounds of cup ramen.
Exactly. So we want you guys to have those options.
Yep.
And we want you guys to be healthy. And once again, find us on Facebook. If you're disagreeing and you think I'm saying something that's just way right field and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about and I need to butt out of people's personal lives, feel free to tell me. But in my world, if we lose someone due to that, it affects all of us. And, I've never lost anyone to any problems like that. I'll admit it. But my uncle's had like 4 heart attacks now.
Jeez.
My grandmother now has cancer. And, like, I look at my family and I'm like, wow, they are not anywhere near what I would like to be. So I'm going to fix myself. And I'm going to do it. I started it before. I'm going to keep going. Nick?
Yeah, since Chris is right behind you, ask him, how does he feel about labeling these little things he wants to do? The Enforcer's Edibles.
Put it on a shirt.
Put on a shirt.
When we post it, we're going to call the Enforcer's Edibles.
I'll take it.
He smiles and I'll take it.
He'll take it. Put on a shirt.
But once again, Michelle, once again, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here and driving out here. I know you're always very, very adamant about coming out here because this is something you're passionate about as well. Tell me, from a female perspective, when we're talking about health, talking about fitness, and like everyone has a different mindset. Like, as a woman, and I know I'm trying to get you to like talk about a whole gender, but personally as a woman, how do you feel about fitness and having to look a certain way, and how you feel about yourself?
Well, personally, women have it very hard. We have a society where like if you look at all the movies, the pictures, we're driven to think we have to be very, very skinny. We have to have the perfect body. We have to have this, that, this, the hair, the look. People think we always have to wear makeup to look our best. What I want to say is you should be healthy, but you don't have to be skinny. I mean, currently I'm trying to lose weight not to be skinny, but to stave off, say, high blood pressure, diabetes that runs in my family. And that's why it's always good to have, say, a good friend, for instance, my husband, because even me, I will admit, I have a problem. I always think I have to be really skinny, but it's good to have someone by your side to let you know when enough is enough. It has a safety system, but women have it hard, especially in the cosplay community. Like, whether you have the perfect body or not, we are always judged on how we look, whether we like it or not. So I think as the cosplay community, we have to be accepting and also kind to one another, build each other's confidence, especially with the women, because I'm not saying men don't have it hard as well, but we have it difficult, and I'm going to say that, like, internet things, community-wise, it's very difficult, but what I encourage girls to think is just be healthy. You don't accept your body, love who you are, and that's very important, because the more we build our confidence, the better. And the thing is, it's very hard to build confidence. I'm not very confident, and I will admit that. But usually having people who are around you to support you, you can build that confidence over time, and it will take a bit.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Like, yeah, women have it difficult, and I agree with that. On the flip side of the coin, like, not a debate, but I'm agreeing with you. Guys have the same pressure at that point. If you want to, like, 1980s, I'm just gonna say He-Man. Like,
He-Man, yeah.
That's just a start. But look at every anime character that you ever want to cosplay these days. I'm a huge fan of Goku and Vegeta. But they're literally 6-pack, 8-pack. They have muscles I didn't know existed.
They train under hundreds of
Yeah,
pounds
it's just
of
like,
gravity.
well, not even that.
His
Like
deltoids have deltoids.
even the normal people.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
even
there are
normal
very
people.
few main protagonists out there that people want to cosplay that are of a larger stature, that aren't like a running comedic joke
Right.
or just a side character that nobody really cares about. They're just like there for 5 minutes.
Right.
Like, everyone there is literally like
Everybody wants to be
everyone
a hero.
does it. Like, as a cosplayer, Kevin, like, how does that make you feel a little bit? Like, I mean, you yourself, you are a physically fit individual, and I will give you that. And you're probably one of the most athletic guys I've met. And I want to, like, I look at him, I go, that's what I want to go for right there. It's like the Kevin body, but at 6 foot.
Right.
at 6 foot. So, wow. I mean, how do you feel about those kind of standards? And do you put yourself under any pressure yourself to get to those standards?
You know, I think that if I had to be honest with myself, I think I probably do, and because I know that, I mean, I look around and I see the I see the pressures that that guys go through myself. I mean, even though I am physically fit and you know, and I'm not a big person, and you know, I don't feel a lot of the pressures to like get into shape, but I do have the understanding that, you know, even though I might have a good metabolism now, I may not have that in a few years.
Yeah, they can shut off at any time.
Yeah.
So if I don't, so I'm kind of under pressure to keep myself in check, because I don't want to all of a sudden get into a habit of relying on my body's metabolism to stay fit, and then all of a sudden I find myself on a slippery slope when that shuts down or slows down, and then I find myself, oh, how did I get to this point?
Okay.
When I, like, 2 years ago I looked like this, now I look like this, what happened? Well,
You don't want a Bruce moment.
You're just staring at the scale.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would
I
you guys
feel
say, like, here's a good piece of advice I'd like to offer anybody who does cosplay, wants to be on the internet, or wants to just have people on their friends list and such? I have a very important rule. Don't do these things for validation. If you're looking for other people to validate how you do things or why you look a certain way, and you don't like yourself in the first place, prepare for the worst spiral you're ever going to experience in your life. That's why there's currently a huge issue on YouTube with the girl with anorexia.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sure maybe some of you have heard this story.
Yeah.
People want to get her off the internet because they're concerned that she's encouraging people to do what's happening to her.
Oh, man.
And the problem is, her fan base is doing it. They're attacking anybody who questions her. I'm like, she weighs 70 pounds.
That's pretty bad.
I'm like, so like, don't do things for fame. If you're doing things for fame after the fact, that's good. But don't try and be famous because you're losing weight. Don't try and be famous because you want to feel good about yourself.
Okay.
Because you're never going to feel good.
Hey Grant, you've been characteristically quiet as most of our segments go as what would be characterized as you.
It's true.
It really is. Why don't you put like what when you hear about all this, when you hear all us talking, what's sparking in your mind at this point?
That is a very good question, to be perfectly honest. Because I know everybody has like their own situations and stuff that they go through throughout lives, and we're all different, and that's what makes us all ourselves, to be perfectly honest. And with the convention community, it's like with any other hobby that you were to do or something. You start because of your interest in, say, an anime or a manga or a video game. Then you stay for the people that you see, the friends that you make at these sort of things that just make you want to come back, make you feel better about yourself, that you are sort of in a comfortable space where everybody is on the same level with you and understand what you're going through to one point or another.
See, that's that quote I always heard at this point. Don't look down on people. Everyone's going through struggles you don't see.
Right.
At this point, like we all go through our own things, and like I said, this was more of a informative PSA moment, and we're supposed to cover a lot more cosplay stuff. And like I said, we did cover the cosplay community. Michelle, Kevin, I want to thank you guys for coming by once again. You guys were talking. You gave us a better perspective on, because everyone's different, and I try to cover that window as much as I can. Yeah. And once again, we don't have that huge female speakership. We try to. Michelle's always been up my butt about coming in and talking, and she, like I said, we're affiliate with her, and we're partners with her. I want her to come on and be our cosplay expert, especially for the women's side. Like, my girlfriend always talks to you, keeps asking me, like, when can I talk to Michelle again? Because I really need to figure out how to do a wig right and everything else. And I'm like, and that's why we want to thank you.
I would love to talk to her sometime. I'm willing to help anyone. I do a lot of research, so if anyone has any questions, you can hit me up on my fan page, and I will do the research for you. I will find the best material. I will give you the best advice where to go for the best prices. So, and if you need any help, I can make tutorials for you, or you can just ask me personally, whether it be on my Facebook or my fan page.
Kevin, I'm going to ask the same thing out of you at some point. I want to thank you. And if you want to help us out at any point, like, direct people towards you guys have some great cosplays. You guys are perfectionists.
Yeah.
And,
oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah. I think that describes us pretty well.
But it doesn't drive you mad. You guys put in good work. And like I said, we're going to be working with you guys a lot more. I want to start a little YouTube series that's going to air alongside a couple of other things that we're going to be doing, like getting along with you guys, being like, hey, we're here with Silver Valkyrie, Kevin again. Here's what they have, and this is how they made it. Things of that nature. So if you're interested in that, you'll be able to find it.
All right, yeah.
If that's something you guys
we would love that.
It's really fun to watch on the camera them like die for the mics. It's so cool. It's adorable. But once again, this has been Bruce Warchief Hoover. I want to talk to you guys about something that was near and deep to our hearts. If you guys have any advice, any meals, anything, please share it on our page. We'll put it out there. We'll put it out to our own fan base. Get it out there. Like, I'm not saying everyone needs six-pack abs. I'm saying everyone needs to be comfortable in their own skin and still be healthy. No one needs to be a power lifter. If that's what you want a gun for, get it. If you want to be healthy, get it. But we want everyone to be around as long as humanly possible. Once again, this is Bruce Warchief Hoover.
Mark, the Dwarf Kokiachik.
Rank, Rackus 4047 Kohler.
And Nick, the Miniman Clark.
And we will see you guys next week.